Hi and welcome back to Cheeky Crypto. My name is Nick, and today, guys, we're going to be jumping down into the world of Cardano's ADA, taking a look at what's been going on most recently, what we think is likely to be happening next, and all that wonderful stuff. As I get into the video, if you find it useful and informative, smash the like button. I do appreciate that. If you are new to the channel, then why not go ahead and subscribe? Tap the bell, select all the notifications, and in doing so, you will be kept up to date with everything that we do here at Cheeky Crypto. And if you haven't yet joined us in Discord, what are you waiting for? Check it out. The link is in the description down below. It's a fantastic community talking crypto 24/7. It's completely free, and I don't think you'll be disappointed by what you find down there, so why not go ahead and check it out. Let's jump right down into this video. We're going to try to keep this one quite brief. I find that the new structure that we've got here is actually quite lengthy, so I'm going to see if I can get through some of these sections a little bit faster. So let's go ahead and jump on down into the desktop. So let's start things off with our 1 hour time frame. So here we have ADA paired up with USDT on the BitGet spot exchange 1 hour time frame, and we're basically just going to draw a few where we were and where we got up to. As you can kind of see, we were looking for this move down here towards the 28.41 to 28.92, and you can see that we wicked down to a low of 28.96, so a little bit short, but I think we're kind of have to call that one what it is, and I think potentially done at this point for our structure here. I think that is the only way of kind of looking at it, so I think that has to happen. Let's go ahead and tidy this up a little bit, because that will be our C wave low point. Okay, let's go ahead and bring this back in so we can kind of see we have our structure here, and we kind of bounce up a little bit. Now, looking at our structure here, we've actually got an interesting move up, interesting structure move down, bouncing up a little bit, and we're really struggling. We had a double top here, and we bring this in. Okay, so double top right up here. You can see here we're getting rejected. So at the moment, there's this area of resistance for Cardano, and it sits right in this little slither. Now, it's possible that we break through here. But basically 29.55 to 29.58 is our resistance at the moment, and every time we kind of come up into this range, we kind of get rejected. Now, looking at the structure for Cardano, we are in a bearish structure on this 1 hour time frame. You can see here we had a change of character from a bullish state of play into a bearish state of play. We got this confirmed over here, so we know that we are in fact confirmed bearish right now. Okay, now this is also compounded by the fact that we are below our 200 EMA, and we're below the 50 EMA as well. So the 50 EMA is below the 200, so that's obviously bearish in itself. And then the fact the price action is below both the 50 and 200 EMA is also bearish. So it's hard to be bullish on the market for Cardano right now. Now, taking a look at our structure on this, though, it does look to me like we are in a ranging market. We have potential for both directions. I'm going to tag up the low coming in at the 28.96. I'm going to remove some of the noisy areas we don't need right now. I think I deleted the wrong thing. Let's bring that back. I need to delete this one. And if I put a line at the top of the range here as well, so basically we can see we're ranging between 28.96 and 29.83. Okay, that's this little range in here. Now, I suspect that we are likely to go for a bit of a move back to the upside soon, but at the moment we have a strong high not likely to get broken. That strong high sits up here at the 29.71, and so I think, yeah, we're going to probably rally up a little bit here, but we are more than likely going to break down. I don't think we're going to see a big run. I think we'll just see a small bit of volatility and then a break to the downside. And likewise, I think once we've broken this low at 28.96, I suspect we're probably going to get a bounce upwards from there. So let me show you what I think. So in here, I think we have a structured move down. We then bounced up for our double top, and I think we're going to be heading down into a little range down here. Basically sat between 28.77 and 28.92. That's kind of where I think things are going to land, right in here. It's going to be a big kind of three-wave pattern, something to this effect. It might take a little bit of time, but before we move down, I suspect that what we're going to do here is something like this. We're going to bounce up towards equilibrium and then move back down again. That's kind of where I think the 1 hour time frame kind of sits. Let's move over and keep things rolling here onto our daily time frame. So on our daily time frame here, we can see that again we're in that bearish, typical bearish structure below the 50 and 200 EMAs. We can't really get too bullish on this one until we kind of see bigger movements above the daily 200. As you can kind of see, we've had a couple of mini breaks above here. We've been really testing it, but we're just unable to hold this area. And so the bearishness kind of just keeps us down, unfortunately. Now, taking a look at the moves that we've got here, we have very interesting structures. Now, taking a look at this, to me, it looks like we had a double a potential double zigzag in here, and it's a bit of an unusual. In fact, I should probably use the correct terminology, W, X, and Y, coming in here. Now, it's possible that that's a little bit more than that, but I don't think it is. I think that's essentially where that sits. And then we'll take a look up here. We can potentially see, a good healthy move upwards, but again, we're not in an impulsive structure. We're just three wave patterns within here. So nothing much on that front from like an Elliott wave theory point of view, that kind of gives us encouragement. Now, taking a look at this on the daily time frame, I do think we are likely to see a bit of a move upwards. Now, we can see here already that we're in the lower highs and we're in the lower lows, right? I suspect that we still have to come down a fraction more here, but I suspect that once done, we're testing that 200 EMA again, currently sat at the 34-cent level. Current actually is 34.5. So I suspect that that's something that we're going to see on the daily time frame. We're nice and oversold. We've got the momentum to support such a move, but we do need to first of all finish off those lower time frame structures, get them done, get them out of the way, and then we can start to talk about that bigger move up there. Now, the big takeaway here is I think it's going to be a corrective move to the downside, because I do not think that we are likely to see this hold out. The existing low down here, I suspect, is not going to be the bear market low. I suspect new bear market lows will come. Currently sat at 22.04. I reckon we're going to come down a bit deeper. Now, taking a look at the patterns that we've got going on here, we can kind of see we had the three wave pattern going up there. Okay, and we can see here that this looks like a bounce from this structure as well. So if we were to reflect on that as a kind of, a three wave pattern, then we will be targeting out the kind of 15 to 18 cent levels, which if I take this over into our weekly time frame is really where you can start to see that thing kind of play out a little bit. So within this little structure that you see here, if we bounce, or we kind of take our fibs and we kind of take it over to that bounce that we saw just over here, then you can kind of see that we're targeting out this 15 to 18 cent level just at this low point here. Okay, it becomes a big three wave pattern, as I said, like so. It's a little bit easier to see it on our weekly time frame than it is on the daily time frame. This, I suspect, is likely to be the bear market low point. Now, from our structure point, there are a lot of impulsive movements on the smaller time frames, but they are not big impulsive movements. They are essentially what I believe to be a double at the moment zigzag pattern. So we have one here and one here and one here, right? So we basically have basically a zigzag pattern followed by a three wave correction and then a zigzag pattern, right? And then we bounced up in a three wave pattern here. And potentially now we look for that third zigzag pattern. And if I go ahead and remove that off and actually throw in a W, X, Y, X, and Z, and then you start to actually reflect on, okay, that starts to make a lot more sense from an Elliott wave theory point of view. Now, if we take our fibs of our W wave, pull this over to our area here for our X wave into our Z, then we know already, I wonder if I can get rid of that one, that we are going to be targeting out between the 618 and the 1.236. That's going to be this really broad area here. Now, this shows us that our target range within our internal three wave count is going to be right inside our expectations of a Z wave movement between the 0.618 and the 1.236. So essentially everything there is actually lining up quite nicely when we start thinking about where the price action could potentially go for Cardano. I suspect 15 to 18 cent is going to be the bear market low point for ADA, but let me know what your thoughts are down in the comments below. Let's move over into the world of data. Now, for those who are familiar, we set up a new membership website, membership.𝗕𝗘𝗪crypto.io, linked in the description below. In here, there's a data zone for members who have the data perk, and there's Cardano-based data. If I go ahead and load up the Cardano-based data, I just want to take a look at the liquidations on ADA. Now, Cardano doesn't really have much in the way of liquidations. Now, liquidations for ADA seems to be a lot on the lower side of things. Not many people seem to be leveraged trading on Cardano, at least not great sums of funding. And now, when we take a look at this, what do we see? Well, we can see that $111,000 of ADA positions were liquidated in the last 24 hours. Binance was the largest exchange with $58,000 of liquidations, and it was long positions. 63.43% of liquidations were long, and 36.57% were short positions. So why why is this important? Well, it's important to keep an eye on the liquidations. This helps us understand whether or not there's going to be a cascading effect with dragging price into deeper and deeper positioning. Okay, so when it comes to keeping an eye on liquidations, it's quite important to just understand how that actually has an effect on the price action of ADA or Bitcoin or XRP or whatever it may be, right? In the case of Cardano, it's actually quite small fry. It really isn't a huge number, so there's not actually major concerns here or anything kind of, to kind of be too worried or too concerned with when it comes to that price action. Ultimately, exchanges that seem to be heavy on liquidations are Binance, Bybit. Outside of those two, really, everything else is really small. OKX is in third spot at 5 million, CoinX at 2 million, Huobi at 2 million, and so forth, right? So not a lot of leverage stuff going on when it comes to ADA. But again, there's a whole host of other pieces of data here outside of liquidations that we could take a look at. Everything from how the all-time high was, how many days it's been since the all-time high, the percentage that we're down, all the way through to how many transactions there were and the cost of those transactions, right? 65,000 transactions at a cost of $6,000. Put that into context, like, Ethereum and things like that, it's just astonishingly cheap on the Cardano side of things. Let's go ahead and move on over, though. I don't know what button I've pushed there, so let's go ahead and get rid of that. Let's go on over and start talking about, the different exchanges, because we have seen, Huobi as a potential risk when it comes to being insolvent. That might have an impact on ADA to a degree. I don't think it's going to have a major effect, but something to be aware of. So when it comes to exchanges, obviously, as you guys know, we're really big on BitGet. BitGet is my go-to platform. I still use other exchanges, though. I do use things like KuCoin, Gate.io, Binance, Coinbase, and a whole host of others as well. I think it's a great strategy to have access to as many different cryptocurrency exchanges as possible, because you just simply do not know which ones are going to be around when you need them the most. So I have accounts with pretty much most different cryptocurrencies, or different cryptocurrency exchanges, I should say, and I make sure I'm familiar with them, how to onboard, how to offload, and all those kind of things. Now, I'm using BitGet as my go-to platform, and most other exchanges are my backups, right? I think that BitGet is an easy-to-use platform, very intuitive, and it kind of delivers exactly what you expect from a cryptocurrency exchange. Now, there is an affiliate link in the description down below, so if you haven't yet signed up to BitGet, I do encourage you guys to check that out. If you do use that link, you are eligible for up to $8,000 of rewards depending on how much you deposit and trade on the platform, but give it a go. I think that you'll actually be pleasantly surprised by BitGet and how easy and intuitive it is to use, and the amount of different cryptocurrency pairs that they currently have available, and it is growing. It's a growing exchange, and it's growing the amount of offering it has as well. So if you haven't already checked it out, check it out. Link is in the description below. Now, taking a look at some of the trades that we do and have been kind of really quite successful with recently. We've been trading Matic quite a lot. We've traded Cardano a little, but not as much as Matic. Matic's been actually in some really good structures at the moment. And as you can kind of see, we've got some really good trades slips in our Discord server that are getting shared by our community. As JB, you may know him from the podcast channel, you may know him from the Discord server, has been putting together some fantastic technical analysis on Matic in the Discord server for our members, and well, we've been seeing some very nice slips coming through here. Now, these are not crazy hundreds or thousands of % slips that you might see elsewhere. These are realistic, real people, real slips, right? These are essentially people who have been trading with a small amount of leverage at times. Some people are using a little bit more, but for example, here you can see 6x on the leverage side of things, right? You can see down here, some people are using 17x, right? Personally, I like to stick between 5 and 10x. Sometimes I might creep that up to 20 if I'm really confident on a position, but for the most part, I like to keep things nice and realistic. And as you can see, a lot of people have been making a lot of money from their trades with Matic and XRP and a few others that we've been trading in the space recently. So if you haven't already checked out the membership website, why not go ahead and check it out? Take advantage of some of the stuff that we have to offer, including the trading elements as well. Guys, I'm going to leave this video right there. If you have found this useful and informative, smash that like button. I do appreciate that. If you are new to the channel, then why not go ahead and subscribe, tap the bell, select all the notifications, and in doing so, you will be kept up to date with everything that we do here at Cheeky Crypto. With all that said, done and out of the way, guys, I hope everyone has a fantastic day, and I'll catch you all in the next one.